Hello YouTube, I'm trying to position this camera. Hi, so this is actually take 3 of this video, and yeah, that should give you a clue as to how scatterbrained I am about this topic. Okay, so this is week 8 of the Pagan YouTube challenge, and the question is, do you have a matron or a patron deity? I've been seeing a lot of wonderful videos about this topic. I think ever since ever since I saw the list for the Pagan YouTube challenge, I think I was very excited for this question and a couple of others, because it's always interesting to hear about other people's experiences with the divine and their gods and their pantheons. Having said that, my own automatic response to this question inside my head has been a little interesting, so I think it's going to be fun to try and dissect that in this video. So when I read the question, do you have a matron or a patron deity, I immediately wanted to say that yes, I do. Shiv is my patron, Kali or Devi, Shakti is my matron. That's what I immediately wanted to say, you know. But at the same time, there was this strange sense of hesitance. That's not quite the right word. It's not as though I was hesitant. I just felt presumptuous. That's a good word. I felt that I would presume things if I brazenly claimed Shiv and Kali to be my matron and patron deities. I'm sorry, patron and matron deities. I think a part of that has been because not all, but most of the videos I've seen on this topic, not just in the context of the YouTube challenge, but you have a ton of videos out there where people talk about their relationships with the divine, and in most of those stories, I find that the deity, the god or the goddess in question, made the first move. They made sure that the person in question stumbled on a book or a website, or gave them some signs or an animal, all sorts of things. But the goddess I beg your pardon, the god or the goddess always made the first move. And sometimes if the person were to resist the calling, they'd keep making move after move after move until they acknowledge the connection. But whatever, the point being that the first move generally happens from their side. At least that's what I'm getting from all the stories I've been watching and reading. So since I've never really had that, I actually found it a little, I had a little bit of trouble to directly make the claim that Shiv and Kali were my matron deities. So for me personally, I've never the first move, as far as I remember, has never been from their side. At least I have been fascinated by stories of Shiv, by stories of Durga and Kali and Parvati for as far back as I can remember. I remember being 6 years old, 7 years old, and I here in India you sometimes have these dance dramas during certain festivals, which sort of they tell you the stories and the mythologies concerning a particular deity. So, for example, during the festival of the goddess Kali, you have dance dramas which will depict the most popular stories about her. So, I remember being 6, maybe 7 years old, and being wicked excited to go to this screening, to go to this theatrical adaptation of some of Kali's stories. I was fascinated, so for me that fascination, that connection goes far back, but I do not recollect a time when I don't recollect there being a point in time where Shiv or Kali have directly reached out to me or sought me out. and I don't mean this to say that I'm jealous or that I'm um, uh, um, miffed about this. I'm not. I'm just trying to, point out the differences between my experiences and what other people have had. So there have been, no instances where I've been sought out by Shiv or Kali, but at the same time, I have to say that they've pretty consistently answered me back whenever I've asked questions, whenever I've asked them for signs or prayed to them for answers. I've always heard back from them, and whenever I've made offerings to them, I've never felt rejected. I've never felt as though that offering was not accepted. I've never felt that. I've only felt acceptance. I've only felt affection and love and all sorts of those fluffy feelings. What I mean to say is I've never felt anything negative from my worship of Shiv or Kali, but at the same time, I've never been sought out directly by them. And so I think that's part of the reason why I have a little tiny bit of a problem with directly claiming them to be my patron or matron, because I feel that I haven't been accorded the right exactly. So there is that, and part of the reason why I could only conjecture. This is all speculation, but maybe a part of the reason why my experience is different in terms of not being directly sought out, but always just naturally falling into a connection, is because Shiv and Kali form the pantheon that I grew up worshipping, that I grew up around. So I didn't exactly need a push in that direction because I was already interacting with that pantheon. That might be part of it, because most modern day new pagans from the Western world today come from a Christian or Abrahamic upbringing, and at some point they choose to become pagans. At some point they choose to worship other pantheons. So it could be that the reason why I've never been directly cuffed up that one of the reasons why I've never been cuffed upside the head by a god or a goddess is because I'm already inside that culture. I'm already inside that pantheon. That could be one reason. But yeah, I guess even if I don't have the right to call Shiv or Kali my patron or my matron, even if that right has not been given to me yet, I would still say that they are the god and the goddess that I have the deepest connection to. They're like on a page, if I read a list of names of different gods and goddesses, different deities, Shiv, Kali, Parvati, Durga, all of those names would they would stand out for me. Whereas where I might probably just read through the rest of the names, those names would stand out for me. So yes, I do have this sense of instant connection with them. So yeah, I guess that's a very weird, long, rambly answer to the matron-patron question. I would perhaps want to make a separate video about my exact connections, my exact sense of relationship with Shiv and Kali respectively, because I just don't feel that this is the right video for that. It would just get too long and unwieldy. So I think I'm going to end this video here, and I do apologize that it's absolutely not structured, but my thoughts about this are all over the place. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and shoot the next 2 or 3 questions, so I do apologize if this is the short you get to see in the next couple of videos. Thank you for watching. Bye.